In the beginning, we were born. Then we grew. Everything we knew was new.
Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or hate? See the world through different eyes. Realize it's all fairy tales and blue skies. Everyone is wearing a mask in disguise, covering up their issues with betrayals and lies. As we wish we could see through our childhood eyes. I ask you, I ask you, are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread that love? Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or hate? Everything we knew and everything we're taught. I guess we all had bigger problems than the one we fought. The battles that were won and the fights that were fought. We never absorbed all the hate and distraught. Spread that love. So spread that love. Together and let each other in, or feed into temptation and ultimate sin, to learn what we didn't learn right from the start, because nowhere there was place in my heart for hate. As we wish you could see through our childhood eyes once again, I ask you, spread love. Are you gonna spread love or hate? Are you gonna spread love or hate? We stand with the belief to be you, to be heard, and to be original. I love you, oh loves. Do you have thoughts? Do you wanna share them with me? I love you, oh loves. Oh, do you have thoughts? I'd like to share mine with you. Can we share like lovers do? Underneath the painted blue moon, oh loves, do you have thoughts? And do you wanna share with me? Share with me too. Rawr.
Hi, I'm Angified. I started Angified Presents.
We share the love of music.
It has been medicine and therapy. Nothing else worked.
It has saved many of us. With mental health, we need to open our eyes.
Hurt people hurt people.
We ask that you listen, comprehend, and relate with your ears.
Form that heart of unity and one.
We share on this stage.
Statistics, feelings.
And ourselves.
We stand with the belief to be you, to be heard, and to be original.
We all may be different, with opinions and beliefs.
At the end of the day, we are all brothers and sisters.
We are family.
We ask that you join us in a magical journey with artists from around the world. Open your minds, let in the love,
and listen with your hearts.
We all want a better tomorrow. Be one.
Communicate and look out for one another. And then, and only then, will you find the world.
We will find peace in all the world.
You'll find the world. And you will find in this shining world heroes among us in every boy and girl. Many have been broken, red hearts turn black. Love will melt the ice and turn it back, and you will find the world. You will find the world. You will find
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to let you know that we have a very, very, very special episode on Angified Presents tonight. Oh, yeah? Yeah? Just wait, because it's an exclusive interview. An exclusive interview with the one and only. Yes, the one and only. Do you know who he is? Huh? Have you found out yet? Oh, no? You haven't? Oh, no? Well, you should, because here he is tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It is, yeah, do you know who it is? It is Mr. Rollo Knox. Yeah? Don't roll me, Rollo. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm amazing, and so amazing because you're here with me.
Thank you.
Rollo, that first piece that I showed there, that's your artwork.
Yeah, it is.
That's gorgeous.
No, thank you. Yeah. I mean, long before I did music, I was, always taking art classes in high school. And for a while, I was studying to do like graphic design. So that's where I learned to do all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I enjoy it sometimes. I've been focusing more on music, so I haven't been doing a lot of the visual stuff, but I still do from time to time. Yeah.
You're doing some kick-ass shows.
Yep. Thank you.
And you are like taking any song that comes your way and you are rollifying it. And I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Rollo, I have to ask, because I know you said you were doing art before you were doing music.
Right.
Did that come from like a great grandparents' nutsack, or maybe an ovary, or like, where did your beautiful musical art and genes come from?
I don't know if anybody in my family really did any visual art that I've ever heard of. Musically, my mom plays keyboards and organ, and both my parents sing. It was like sung in like choirs and stuff, but that's about it, really.
Did they like the same kind of music or different kinds of music? Like, did you get a variety growing up, or was it like
no,
kind of the same stuff?
No, both my parents, they liked pretty different stuff. My mom was a big Elvis and Beatles fan. My dad was he never listened to music much in the house, but like I know he really went more towards stuff that was even older for him, like 40s, like big band and jazz type stuff was mostly what he always talked about liking. But
so now I know where your ears go, Rollo.
Right.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So like what age did you start picking up and drawing? Was it like 3-4 years old when you learned how to hold crayons, or did you not really like art until you started getting older?
I remembered drawing as early as 4 or 5, but I never really started getting really serious into it until high school. I started taking art classes there. Then even took some in college, like I said. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much where it started. Yeah.
And did you get involved in music in college?
When
did the music when did the color from the paper come into the air and be it's there?
Right. Well, I started playing guitar when I was 17, so about probably junior year of high school. I was writing, but I really wasn't recording much until honestly, I started recording more once I discovered BandLab. I didn't really record a lot. I would do some and put it on YouTube and stuff like that, but never got into the mixing and mastering stuff until I got on BandLab, really.
BandLab has done so many wondrous things, allowing us to collaborate,
Oh yeah.
meet new artists, different genres, kind of step
Yeah.
out of our boxes, try nothing new, like something new.
Yeah.
Just inspire and to create others. It has definitely been a blessing for many of us. So like,
Yeah.
so you guys tell me about like some of your favorite collaborators. You want to give anybody a shout out that you've worked with?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, Unicorn Made Frankenstein, of course, is one of my favorites on the lab. I recently did a song, I think it's one on the list here, with George Webb or Highway 73. Let's see who else. I've always been a big fan of Skip Dipper on the lab. Another one that I've done a little bit of collaborating with was Paul McMinotaur. He's another favorite of mine. Yeah, I'm probably leaving out a bunch of people, but that's all that's coming to mind right now. So apologies if I left you out.
Yes, he'll roll you next time.
Yeah.
So when did you come on to BandLab? Around like COVID 2020 or
no, it was
prior?
Trying to remember. It's been at least 3 or 4 years that I've been on the lab.
It's true. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, I know. I remember it was like around July was the first post I did, but I can't remember what year, so that's weird. But yeah, it was at least 3 or 4 years ago that I first started doing stuff on here or on BandLab. Yeah.
And what about your comedy? Because you are hysterical. Like
thank
you make me smile so hard sometimes.
Right.
You hurt my cheeks, Rollo.
Oh, thank you. Glad to hear it. Yeah, I mean, I do serious stuff, but I like to be kind of silly too. I mean, that just kind of started with again on BandLab. I hadn't really done much, comedically before that. I always kind of wanted to try stand up, but I never got into it. So I guess once I got on BandLab, I kind of saw that as an opportunity to at least try to be funny. I'm glad at least some people think I am sometimes.
Well, I'm glad you came out your box.
Oh, thank you. Me too.
Rollo, let me ask your song Bad Kitty.
No, yes.
Tell me about that, because it looks like you're in a band there called Tina and the Fat
Yeah,
Lords.
that's actually the only band that I'm in on BandLab that I actually started myself.
Okay.
That is with, I think, me and just Johnny B. I can never remember all the numbers to his username, but Johnny Barrett, I think. But
yes.
Yeah, he's on vocals on that one, and I believe I did all the music on that. He came up with I had no lyrics for that, and he just came up with all of that. So, yeah, kind of surprised
Johnny
me
B's awesome.
how funny he is, because I never seen that side of him before. So I was really pleased to see that.
Absolutely. So you can find Johnny B also on BandLab at Johnny B01290. Yeah, man, I want to make sure to give him a proper shout out there. Well, we're going to go ahead. We're going to listen to Bad Kitty and see how bad you are, Rollo.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, let's do this.
All right.
Bad Kitty. You can find Rollo Knox at Rollo_Knox. Discord. SoundCloud. Instagram. YouTube. And on BandLab. And TikTok. Yay! Rollo is a guitarist and a keyboardist
drummer and vocalist, songwriter, bass player, DJ, beatmaker, and a #1 fan. He loves rock, R&B, electronic, jazz, folk, classical, funk, blues, metal, country, and long, long walks in that beautiful sunset. Rollo says, stick around for a while and maybe you'll hear something you'll like. I'm always open to collaboration, so feel free to hit me up if you want to work together on something. Here is Bad Kitty.
So pretty.
Let me tell you a story about a little kitty who liked weed. You see, every once in a while, this kitty would take my weed and go under the bed. We wouldn't see him for days. Oh, kitty, kitty. If you wanna get high, kitty, I got the catnip. You don't need to take my weed. Do you hear me, kitty? Well, I got another story. It started just like one day. I was just playing my 6-string and lo and behold, kitty, kitty was there looking at me. He jumped on my lap and I was playing a 6 solo. And he interrupted me. And I said, kitty, why did you do that? He looked at me and he said, meow. And then proceeded to go in the litter box and take a fat shit. Oh man, the smell was delusional. If anything, for explanation of a less word, very rancid. I said, oh kitty man, you gotta go and cover that shit up. He looked at me and said, and then he proceeded to jump on my lap during the 6 solo. Oh kitty, why you do that? You started the place up and you interrupted my 6 solo, kitty. Oh fuck. Ah, kitty, kitty.
Rollo, that was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Bad Katie.
Yeah, bad kitty.
It was great to hear Johnny kind of step out of his box, you know,
Right.
and really like show himself and be himself. I love that.
Yep.
My goodness. How long did it take to do that project?
Oh, shoot. I mean, so long ago, I'm not really sure. I know I kind of finished most of the music and then I just had it up for anybody in the band to do anything with. And Johnny jumped on it. He added the lead wah guitar and the vocals, and that was it. So honestly, I don't remember how long it took, but yeah.
Well, you both did an incredible job.
thank you.
And, you know, to off the fly, you know, to just kind of play with that and come up with
Right.
a totally interesting concept that's not about love or breakups or
Nope.
everything we hear on the radio today.
Right.
Like it's talking about like real life circumstances and bad kitty cats.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, Rollo, where do you come up with some of your ideas?
Wow. I don't know, man. I mean,
Like if something like if you see something like during the day, like if you go to the grocery store and you see something and you're
Right.
like, man, that
Yes.
like this is like totally something that
Yeah,
shouldn't have happened
sometimes
today. Like
I mean, it kind of varies. I mean, sometimes it's from just something I see or something somebody says to me, or sometimes I just think of a funny title and write from the title and go from there. Yeah, I don't really know. I mean,
do you have like influences that like,
oh
kind of
yeah,
maybe spark your inspiration?
yeah. I mean, I think probably Frank Zappa is a really big influence. And like when I was younger, I never really I listened to his music. I never really liked it, but then as I got older, like I just really appreciate how free he is with creativity, and just how little he cares about making a fool of himself or so. Who else? Then Jack White. I really like what he does on guitar. He's another big influence. Let's see who else. I really like older Americana stuff like Lead Belly and Woody Guthrie.
I hear the Frank Zappa come out of you a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh, thank you.
Like there's no hiding that.
No. It's obviously an influence. Let's see. I mean, of course, comedically, again, going back to that, Tenacious D, Weird Al. Yeah.
Howard Stern.
Yeah, sure.
You had some good guests.
Yeah.
Well, Rollo,
Mm-hmm.
out of all of your influences, I'm so glad you never walked away.
No.
And I'm so glad that you show yourself and you put yourself out there. That definitely is an inspiration. And like I said, you make my cheeks hurt a lot of times because you make me smile so much. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Glad to hear it.
But if you walk away from me, I'll just love you from behind.
Oh yeah. I see what you did there.
So tell me about this song.
Well, I kind of mentioned it earlier. This is the tune that I did with Highway 73, George Webb. He came to me with that idea. He had the title and he thought, I guess I'd be a good guy to help him write it because he doesn't do a lot of comedic stuff. So, yeah. When I heard the title, I just knew I had to do it or help him do it anyway. So this is both of us singing on here. So, yeah.
Wow. We're going to go ahead. We're going to check this out, Rollo.
All right, cool.
I'm so excited. I get to share Rollo Knox. Yay.
Yep.
We're going ahead and listening to If You Walk Away From Me, I'll Just Love You From Behind. Yes. Like, share, subscribe to Rollo Knox. The vocals and lyrics at Web George. Vocals, lyrics, music at Rollo_Knox. A tune about loving from behind. We're listening to Rollo Knox.
remember in the backseat, I loved you in my car. Loved you from a distance, and I've loved you from afar. And when I seen that body, it nearly blew my mind. And if you walk away from me, I'll just love you from behind. Behind the bottle, behind the pain, behind the thought of losing you again, behind the anger, behind the pain. If you'll let me do it just once more, love you from behind again. Well, I met you on that moonlit night, on that summer's eve. You were wearing some sweet scent that I could now believe. Then I walked up and asked you if I could make you mine. And if you walk away from me, I'll just love you from behind.
Oh, Rollo.
All right, Rollo, just a little demo. I still don't have words, but Steve said absolutely great. You know, like right here we go. Hey, no, it's my girl, Rollo. You say, no, it's mine, George. Say, well, I love her from behind. What'd you do? Well, I love her from the front and behind. So, okay, well, I love her from the front, the behind, and upside down. So, she's my girl, Rollo. Just being foolish is what we're about, right?
Oh, he's awesome. That was
Yeah.
awesome, Rollo.
Thank you. I don't know if George knew I was going to leave that part in or not, but I did.
It was perfect. It was a
Yeah.
perfect way to end it. I don't think there was any other way to end that like that. That was
Yeah,
perfect.
no. Thank you.
Oh man, Rollo, you are like all over different social media platforms and doing live shows. Obviously at Rollo_Knox, pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, pretty
BandLab,
much.
Discord, SoundCloud, TikTok. I mean, you're really blowing up.
Yeah, well, thank you.
What's been the hardest part?
Oh. I don't know. Like, I guess sometimes, like, you know, you think a song is really, really good, and then it like gets hardly any attention at all, and then the ones like you don't think much of blow the hell up. So it's like, you know, sometimes that's kind of frustrating, but you know, as long as some of them are blowing up, that's all that matters, I guess.
Yeah. It's funny like that because you think, oh man, I got this killer tune. I'm gonna put this out and
Right.
this is gonna be the one, you know,
Right.
they're gonna love this. I'm gonna get
Nope.
like and nothing. Like you're lucky if you get 5 plays on it,
Right.
you know, and then it's like other ones, it's like you put out as like a joke, just fooling around, not really even putting any time or thought into it. And
Yeah.
it's like those are the ones that get like a bunch of plays and you're like,
Yep.
man, how do I win?
Right. I don't know, man.
You just tell them to give them some of your tots, right?
Right. Yep.
Tell me about this one, because this is you and Johnny again. Is that correct? Because I know it's Tina and the Fat Lords, or is this just you?
I'm trying to remember. Oh, geez, now I can't even remember my own song. I can't remember.
It only had you tagged.
Johnny. I think it's me, Johnny, and if it's the most current version, UMF is also on it, I think.
Okay.
No, and Paul McMinotar's on it too, I believe. I think that's everybody, hopefully.
So it's pretty much everybody from the band.
Pretty much everyone was on that track, yeah, I think so.
All right, so at
After
UMF
the song,
Music,
I'll be able to tell you for sure.
at Paul McMinotar,
Right.
at Johnny B01290, at every_green_tree, and at Rollo Knox. He says, give me your tots. Let's check it out. You don't need earmuffs, everyone. It's your tots. Here we go. Give me some of your tots. Please.
Hey, Napoleon, give me some of your talents. Come on, give me some of your talents.
Heck yeah, Rollo, keep me dancing.
Oh, thank you.
I love the fact that you're not afraid to play with other genres.
Oh, yeah, sure.
What was probably like the craziest, like, because you like to also mishmash and mosh different genres together. So what was probably like the craziest track that you ever like composed and put together?
Shoot. I mean, recently, I think maybe you're trying to lead into the next one. If it's Your Love is Electric, is that what you're trying to hint at?
Oh, actually, nope. That's
No?
not the next
Oh,
one.
okay, well, usually
You
that's
should
probably
skip
the
to my
crazy-
Lou or
Sorry,
skip to
so
my
that-
Rollo.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah, sure. But yeah, in
But Love
terms
is
of
Electric?
mishmash, yeah, probably that one would be most recently the craziest mishmash of styles I've done, I think. But yeah, Skip to My Lou is pretty cool too. I thought you were trying to lead into the other, my bad.
That's all right.
Very good.
I got you, Rollo. Let me ask, what was the most challenging thing about that song, The Electric Love? Like what made it the most challenging for you to compose and put together?
I mean, for that one, it's probably like in the verses, it's kind of poppy. And that's like one genre I've never really, played around with too much.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to make it sound halfway decent, at least those parts it was just kind of new to me. So I guess, yeah, that's probably.
Awesome. So yeah, it was trial by error.
Yep.
It was going to work or you were going to make it work.
Right. Eventually.
So tell me about Skip to My Lou.
So a while back, I did a whole bunch of kids songs. I'm sure you probably remember those.
I do. It was shortly after the jingle, right?
Yeah, probably. I'm not sure, but I actually remember this one started because I just came up with this sort of riff that I was just starting something out, and it reminded me a lot of, again, Skip Dipper on the lab. So I just sort of put that name in there, and then later I decided to just make it into another weird version of the actual kids song. But since it's public domain, I changed the lyrics a little bit, made it a little bit darker to match the music a little bit. But that's kind of how that came together.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing, and thank you everyone for being an inspiration, Rollo, because you have been a very big inspiration on the lab, touching people like Skip Dipper and UMF and Johnny and me, even in ways that you don't realize.
Oh.
So thank you.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
Right here, Rollo.
Yep.
Well, let's go ahead. Let's listen to Skip to My Lou. Something for the kids. I added so many effects to my new Atomo tone. Rollo, help me out.
Yeah, Atomatone.
Yay. That I made it sound like a dial-up modem or something. Rockin' dial-up fax machine .matrix.com.
Yep.
Let's press the button.
Yeah, sure.
Skip to My Lou. Here we go.
Whatever sticks, skip to my door. Whatever sticks, skip to my darling.
love all the effects, Rollo.
Thank you. Yeah, I like to play around.
Even with all those effects, I can still make out what you're saying.
Yeah, good.
And that's beautiful. Like there's a lot of times where you hear, some overly done effects and you can't make anything out. And, it's very unelectrifying, unlike your love.
Right. Thank you.
Rollo, so tell me more about this piece, because you were saying it was one of the hardest pieces. Where did you get the idea to come up with this? Because this is a masterpiece of an idea. Like
it also sort of came together naturally. Like I started with more harder rock riff, and I don't know what sort of came over to me to do something completely different in the verses, but I did, and it just sort of came together kind of naturally, really. I mean, I don't know where the inspiration comes from sometimes, though. I don't know what to tell you.
It's all good, right?
Uh-huh.
As long as it flows through and out. And and you are so positive too, and such an uplifter, for other artists. Like there's no tea in cans for you. And I love that.
Thank
so
you.
Don't roll me, Rollo.
No.
Just roll over your love, because it's electric. Let's check it out.
All right, let's check it out.
Your love. It's electric. Bam Lab Love, lit, new, rap, trending, electronic, pop, hip hop, fire, rock, 80s, FL Studio 20, fire, music artist 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, single release, independent music, Beat Stars, FL Studio, Need Beats, unsigned producer, new music, Trans Center. Let's give it up for Rollo Knox.
That's a hit song, Rollo. You know that.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
That is totally electric.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was going for.
That was a great intertwining of all those mixtures of genres.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you're stepping out a little bit with the metal and with some of the heart. It's electric.
Yeah.
It is so nice to see that and to feel your energy when you do that.
Right.
Because
Thank
not
you.
only do I hear you, I feel you.
Oh. Good. Thank you.
Rollo, I have a question for you.
Yeah, sure.
So, if you had to give advice to someone that was, say, a junior in high school, and, they were kind of in your shoes, what kind of advice would you give them?
Just, stick with it, keep practicing, and, I guess try and push yourself to, get out and perform more than I did when I was younger, because I was so shy and I wasn't performing out at all, and I wish I had. But yeah, that's about it, I think.
So stand up, stand out, get out there and do it.
Yeah.
God, you're so nice to your younger self.
Yeah.
Mine would have ended up with a broken arm, a black eye or two, and what's wrong with you?
Mhm.
Rollo, this has been an absolute honor.
Oh, well, thank you.
To
It's been
find out
fun.
more about you and to learn. I hope you're going to let me do an update, in the future.
Yeah, sure.
Because I definitely want to follow you all the way through. You're not allowed to stop performing anymore.
All right. Gotcha.
Awesome. We're going to go ahead and say thank you so much, everyone, for liking, sharing, subscribing to Rollo Knox, getting out there, tuning in, listening to all of his amazing music. And, I got to tell you, this is an exclusive interview with the one, the only, Rollo Knox. Exclusive, everyone. Yes, the one, the only, Rollo Knox. Yes. Make sure to go ahead, like, share, subscribe. He is on all platforms. Check out his artwork as well. You won't turn around again, because he'll be loving you from behind the whole way through. We're not going to roll Rollo. We're going to check him out everywhere: Discord, SoundCloud, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and FanLab. Till next time, everyone, I want you to like, listen, share, and subscribe. This is Angified Presents.
I'm gonna spread love or hate. I'm gonna spread love or hate. I'm gonna spread love or hate.
We all may be different, with opinions and beliefs. But at the end of the day, we are brothers and sisters. We are family. We ask that you join us in a magical journey with artists from around the world.
I love you, oh loves. Do you have those? Do you wanna share them with me? I love you, oh loves. Oh, do you have those? I'd like to share mine with you. Can we share like lovers do? Do you have those? Do you wanna share them with me? I love you, oh loves. Oh, do you have those? I'd like to share mine with you. Can we share?
Hi, I'm Angified. I started Angified Presents.
We share the love of music.
It has been medicine and therapy. Nothing else worked.
It has saved many of us. With mental health, we need to open our eyes.
Hurt people hurt people.
We ask that you listen, comprehend, and relate with your ears.
Form that heart of unity and one.
We share on this stage.
Statistics, feelings.
And ourselves.
We stand with the belief to be you, to be heard, and to be original.
We all may be different, with opinions and beliefs.
At the end of the day, we are all brothers and sisters.
We are family.
We ask that you join us in a magical journey with artists from around the world. Open your minds, let in the love,
And listen with your hearts.
We all want a better tomorrow. Be one.
Communicate and look out for one another. And then, and only then, will you find the world.
We will find peace in all the world.
You'll find the world. And you will find in this shining world heroes among us and every boy and girl. Many have been broken, red hearts turn black. Love will melt the ice and turn it back, and you will find the world. You will find the world. You will find the world. And when you find a place called home, where everyone is free to roam, a whole new world, a better place for our children's futures at stake. And you'll find with music in your soul, laughter in your hearts. Together we can grow a better place with love in our soul. And you will find together we can save it all. And you will find a place called home, where every
Good evening, everyone. I'm so glad that you tuned in because we have a very special guest tonight. And, Angified presents Share the Love. You know what to do. Hit that heart and share an exclusive interview. Yes, you're not going to want to miss this. We are going to go ahead and talk tonight with the one and only Nick Nagy. Yay! Nick's here tonight, and we're going to go ahead. We're going to ask her some great questions about herself, her music, her band. We're going to talk about the elect morals debate here as well in a little bit. But first, hi, Nick. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm so excited. All right, I have to know, where did you come from? Where did your magic, where did you come from? Were you hatched?
Well, I mean, I was born Easton Hospital, and I grew up in Hellertown. So I graduated in 2001. So it seems like a long time ago because it was. So I still have most of my hair, and I'm at a relatively good body weight. So
we're 29 forever.
Yeah, I'm at that thing though, like where I look good for my age, so that's why I own it. Because I think I have some haters of people who get jealous that I look better than they do it in their 20s.
I can feel that.
I always start off the interview by me just hating on a lot of the basic bitches, but I'm going to.
So where did your inspiration for music come from? Did you have a relative that was into music or art?
Well, the more I think about it, I think it was performing because I remember I had a class when I was probably 4th, 5th grade. It was a music class, and one of the things we had to do was we had to lip sync 2 songs, and we would stage these things where we would have we would be lip syncing to them as the songs would play, and we would really get into it. And I remember it was like Billy Joel, and it was like River of Dreams. It was like weird. And I was a kind of weird kid. It was like that Meatloaf. But I remember doing it, and I remember hamming it up, and I remember liking the attention. And I now that I've been sober a lot more thinking about it, I like to perform. That's when that clicked for me. That was the thing that as much I like writing too, but I get the leg up by performing because I think a lot of people, and I especially for people who are younger, I think they should perform because I think communities need that, and then that competition then builds friendships, and it's so get out there and form bands, and it's something I wish I would have done more of when I was younger. But so that kind of answers your question, I think. And so yeah. Somewhere in there I answered it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so at this point in time you started doing Milli Vanilli and stuff like that, performing, really kind of lip syncing, kind of putting yourself out there, and saying, hey, I like this attention. I like being able to release this energy.
Well, I was a really shy kid too, so that was a big hurdle for me, and it still is a lot of times. If you know me, and some people when I say that, I think it's more about how I was before, because a lot of my shyness was my self-doubt and looking down when I would walk, and that's why I had a hard time finding girls, because I would I would often look down and I had no confidence. So that's how I kind of got it with my ex-wife. But yeah, my parents and sister also did local theater and stuff. So a lot of times when I was younger, I had nothing else I would do, and I would sit there and I would watch that, and I would be part of that through watching it. And in an alternate timeline, I probably would have done it myself, and I probably would have been pretty good at it. Because looking back now, I think I animated enough, and I think I would have done a decent enough job at it. Maybe somewhere down the line I'll do something like that, but.
I think you were sitting there in the chair saying, no, you need to do it like this. You were probably directing, sitting from the chair when you were younger.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't even go that far. But it definitely gave me with my parents doing that stuff, and then I used to go on trips with them to New York, which I loved to do because the city was just, it was a whole other world. And
Filled with art.
well, yeah, and like
Literally
I remember,
everywhere.
well, back then CDs, I don't know if you remember, just I'm going really showing my age, but if you wanted to, like, certain songs or B-sides on like a Japanese single. And the Virgin Megastore back then was, I think, 3 floors of CDs, and so you could go there and you could find like Foo Fighters, a single, so you get a B-side, and that was how back then I used to collect different artists. If I liked, I would get their B-sides and stuff. And so that really dates me in age, but yeah, that was always a fun thing.
Yeah. Well, if we talk about dating back in age, how about the cassettes with Green Day? How many times did you listen to that one?
Green Day, and the first
the
one,
little
my
hidden
sister,
track.
I remember my sister, one of the first ones was Green Jelly, and they did Little Pigs.
Yeah.
And that was one of the first tapes I really remember. I don't, and it's kind of weird that sticks out. But like, besides that, I didn't, none of my family has like they all kind of sing, and my grandmother, I know she did choir when I was younger. She was kind of turned evil later on, but I remember she was always a really good singer. So the seeds were then, and my grandfather, who passed a couple years ago, he could pick up an instrument, and so there's different. You add all those elements in, and that kind of is how then it got to me. So it took a long time to get to find my voice with singing. For a while there, I was imitating the people I liked when I was younger. It was James Hetfield from Metallica, and then it was Eddie Vedder, and then Scott Weiland. It was Scott Weiland is a huge influence, and I think if you listen at times, you can hear Scott Weiland in different songs I do, because I mean he to me was a humongous frontman and musician. He was an idiot, but a lot of us are too. So yeah, it took me a while to develop that voice, and then I got really into music at that point. And it was Pearl Jam that got me into it. I mean, that was the band that got me into, then that branched off into all kinds of different groups, and I got into the whole New York scene with the Strokes, and I love the Strokes. So like, and you even like, so you hear bits and pieces of these bands in a lot of my stuff. So
Everybody just took a little bit of dash of everything and threw it at you.
yeah, really,
that is so cool.
Well, and then like my favorite band is the Kinks, so there's always a little bit of that too, because they have like a strange British flavor. They have one album that's really unique. It's like it's like a British view of how the country is here, and it's weird that it's written by a couple of guys who are from England, and it's a brilliant little album. But it's like a great country rock album too. It's one of my favorites. So it's always neat how that stuff kind of works. I think dedication and wanting to do it can really get you far. I think I'm done being hesitant like I was before with a lot of it, and I'm just letting it all hang out now. And I'm getting good results, and people are liking it, and that's what it's all about. I love that people like it.
Absolutely. Now you have an incredible story. Okay, all the way from
I mean,
you've been married, you've lost your ring on a beach. You've gone through some craziness.
Well, let me tell
you, your entire life, with drugs and things of that sort. Please tell us about this, because your story is incredible and needs to be shared.
All right. Well, let me tell you first of all the story. I'm romantic, and when I was with my ex-wife, she was a hard person to get. I really tried. I really tried with her. And there was this moment before we split, and I put her through a lot too. Like, I was no saint. I was an asshole. I was young and we were on drugs. But I was at the beach with my parents, and I went in the bay, and I lost my wedding ring. So in the bay, it's cloudy. You can't see much. So I'm like, well, shit. So I go back in the water and I wait for a little bit, and I found it. So here I'm flabbergasted, and I go back to, and I call my ex-wife, and I'm like, this means that we're meant to be. I found this. Like what
are the odds?
That? No one's gonna find this stuff. and then we split 4 months later. So it was a good experience to give me a bit of humility when it comes to, because I think I've gotten in trouble with being romantic in the past. It's a plus, but it's also a negative as well. So I just wanted to start with that story. But
That's awesome. I can't believe you found that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, right? I look back on it now, I'm still like, and I remember telling her, and she was like, "Oh, all right." And I was like, "What fucking really? That's your best? If that's the best you're gonna give me? I just did a miraculous thing."
Yeah.
She didn't care.
Wow, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. Don't get me wrong.
And then you had more life. Do you maybe want to start to the point where you started maybe going downhill and started working into music?
Yeah, my biggest problem was when I was younger, I always have a problem relating to other people. And the hard part now with when it comes to it, and a lot of things people don't realize when you're especially a recovering addict, is you get a lot of people who only know me from either when I was a guy, so I wasn't more open, or when I was an addict. And I the closest thing my mom says is, it reminds me of, I remind her now when I was a little kid, because I joked around a lot and I talked a lot. And but I think it's hard, because I think that a lot of people, for so long, I've burned so many bridges that I don't let it get me down too much, because I still have a great support base, but it sucks because I have some family that I definitely would like to get me know me now. It's like when my parents come to see me play, I always wanted them to see that side of me, and I thought it was something that was important for them to see. So I want to have those kind of experiences in life with some family and friends who I haven't had before. But you can't force that hand. You just have to. Like I said, I am happy with how things are going. But so with that whole background, I had no self-esteem because of this. I was an overweight kid, and I was very sensitive. I'm still very sensitive. Like I almost kind of started to cry back there a little bit. I used to really, I remember I had a speech for my dad's retirement, and I had this great speech that I was going to give, and I went up there and I just started crying, and I told my parents how much I love them. And a lot of it was just because I was a mess inside too. So like now I would be much better composed for it. So I was really sensitive, and that's a bad combination when it comes to, I guess, drugs, because that was comfortable to me. I wasn't religious anymore, and I wasn't close with really a lot of my family, which is a lot because I didn't like myself as well. Not to say that none of them are responsible, but so as time went on, my dreams didn't align with what my expectations were, and it was depressing to me because I wasn't going to state school to be, a neurosurgeon, or I wasn't going to be a writer for the Boston Globe. I didn't want to be a rock star. I just wanted to have enough money to make it off of music to just, make it. But once again, I was so screwed up from the drugs and not liking myself. And then also, the whole trans thing was in there, I'm sure too. And none of it I ever wanted to think is excuses, because it really isn't. A lot of it is a certain age and temperament, and where I am now is a much calmer place. I stopped going to war with myself, so that made things easier. But as time went on, then I also found that I mixed music and drugs, especially when I first had heroin. It was something that, like, when I'm a songwriter, or at least when I used to have a couple things. I would have cigarettes, and then normally pot, and coffee, black coffee, and those are what I would use. And I don't really use coffee as much anymore, but I use those things to still write, and writing always constantly evolves. That was my point now. Throw me a lifeline here. I'm having a brain fart.
You were talking about when you first started heroin.
Oh yeah. So that was one of those drugs that nobody really. I didn't start heroin from the get-go. I had when I was younger, I had surgery for wisdom teeth, I think, and I remember I had and it was great, and I liked, like I said, I wasn't religious, so it was a good way for me to escape my head. Because I felt like I was once again, my expectations with my music compared to what my reality was were two different things, and I never wanted to get too clouded, but I was doing a drug that was clouding me. So it was a constant struggle, and I wasn't out, and then when I met my ex-wife, that, like I said before, we were talking before the interview, that was one of those things that I met her. I wanted so much to be in love because, like I said, I always looked down when I would walk, and I just didn't have any confidence. Then when I was with her, I did have confidence, but it was just a bad relationship because it was held together by us using painkillers. And that's how it first started. And then as time went on, that relationship kind of went down the drain, and my whole family and friend situation was absolutely the shitter because I was the first one of my friends in a long-term relationship, and my music was drying up because what was once my muse, which was opiates, was not working anymore. And I certainly wasn't going to perform because I always looked pretty bad. Well, not yet. That was later down the line. But I just was not happy. I was working a job that was, 6 to 2. I had good benefits, and I just had an opiate addiction. And we never fought or anything. It was just a weird relationship. And then we split, and then I met Wendy. I'm sorry, right before I met Wendy, I had a big surge where I did like 30 or 40 songs. And it gave me Bill has always been there in different times when I didn't know who I was doing music for, who I still don't really always know who I'm doing music for. I'm not good at building an audience, people. I'm just not good at doing it. So I've constantly struggled with how to do that. So I know maybe this interview will help, or maybe it'll hurt it. I don't know. I'm not sure
I
yet.
have to say, I am so proud of you.
Yeah, no,
you're being you.
Yeah.
You're being heard, and you're being your original self where you feel comfortable, and you have struggled with that, and you are now feeling like yourself. So I am proud of you.
Well, that's the thing too, is I went through so many years. It goes back to when I said I went through so many years where I ruined so many ties with families and friends that it's hard to get that back now. Losing that trust is hard. Even though I a lot of times I just wasn't there. So I think a lot of times I just don't. I hope those relationships come back at a point, but say with V. But music wise, it almost feels like I'm at a point now, like I was almost like I was frozen when I started using heavy drugs, and now I'm sober and I'm back. So I'm constantly evolving, and I'm playing well, and I'm singing well, and I'm outperforming most of these motherfuckers because that's what I have. That's just how I work it. And I feel like I'm putting on my best right now. I always think I could do better, but I think right now I just think I'm hitting right at all the spots. So yeah, if I can get a drummer, that's right now. That's my next step, is to find a drummer.
Oh, well, you have the band, the Elect Morals Debate. Do you want to tell me a little bit about the band?
Yeah, I had a band about 15 years ago, and it folded, and it devastated me because it was when I snowballed into addiction. So when I got out of it, I've been trying. I tried for a couple times on different apps, and I finally went to Reddit and I put some ads up, and I got a bunch of hits. And that's when I found John, John and his girlfriend are incredible. Wendy's my girlfriend and fiance, actually. We haven't really had friends since we've gotten sober, and they're awesome friends now. It's cool to see we have friends like that. Like it's adorable. So I found him there, and then Ben was playing open mics, and I found him, and then Liam also from open mics. So it's all coming together much faster, because before I struggled to even find a guitar player,
And
So
now
now
when
it's
you're
nice.
not looking, it's right there.
It feels like because I'm being positive and I'm being open and I'm doing things the right way. It feels like everything's falling into place for that reason.
The
You know,
universe is starting to speak to you and you're starting to listen.
I mean, so why shouldn't it be my time? I feel like I'm as, you know, I feel like I put a lot of thought into what I do with my music, and I love playing for people. So if anybody ever wants to see me at an open mic, come out for one of those at the library, maybe.
Yeah.
That was a shameless,
There you
terrible
go.
plug.
That's all right. They're gonna see more great videos
I'm
of
not-
you, Nick,
I'm not
on
a
the
pro
open
like you
mics
are.
as well. So
I'm not a pro like you are. I'm sorry.
oh, I think you are.
No, I mean,
Give yourself more credit, damn it.
And I'm not just kissing your ass either. I'm amazed by your work ethic. I'm amazed at what you do, and you're a very, and you do a great job with the show as well. You make it very seamless to talk, which is nice. I mean, I like to talk, and I talk a lot too, so I'm sure I make it easy for you guys as well too.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, and you're amazing.
I give myself a compliment at the same time. That's just how I work.
Well, then tell me about Electomoral's debate with the Revised, because we're gonna play this video here in a moment. And I want to know more, like where this song came from.
Which song is it?
The Revised of the Electomoral's debate.
Oh, it's the self-titled one.
Yes,
I think.
The
Oh yeah,
self-titled one. Which is
this
genius, by the way.
Well, no, this is all John, because this song it's a great song. It's a song that I always feel still hesitant about because I feel like this needs drums.
Okay.
Once again, for drummer, anybody's interested. But even without that, it really took it up a notch. Instead of just going right to the next part of the song, there's a whole section where he solos, and it's phenomenal. He was on fire. He came over when I had some Jim Beam. We had him over, and he was pretty drunk from what I was told, but it was fun. And he like I said, he tears up in the take. My voice was sounding good. It was the perfect gruffness, I think, and yeah, it's really evolving. It's one of those songs that gets better every time we practice and play it. It gets a little bit different and better. And now with Liam's in there, it's really gonna take off. He wasn't there for this take, I don't think. So.
All right. Well, are you ready to check it out?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Let's do it. Yay. All right. We're going to go ahead and we're going to check out the Electomoral's debate. As you can see, yes. It's a Lehigh Valley native band featuring a funky, bluesy, rock your socks off mix of original rock and roll songs. Come see us at any one of the local open mics in the area. Check out the Facebook page as well. And you can get all the updates of where Nick and the band can be seen in the future. www.facebook.com/The Electomoral's Debate.
You won't be sorry. It's a really good show, by the way. I mean, that's the one thing that people have to get across is that if you're coming and you're seeing me play, I guarantee you, I will put on a good show, because that's what my whole reason is. I'm kind of good at a lot of different things, not to be be somewhat modest about it. But I love to perform, and when I perform, there's a connection that I have with people, and I love that connection. And come out, and I'm not religious. I'm not trying to sound like a priest, but it's a nice way you can feel the songs, and hopefully that sells it. My little speech right there.
Well, I know nobody is going to be disappointed by checking this out and seeing all of your amazing work and your energy, which is so addictive, which I absolutely love. So let's check this out now.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Like, I want to make it infectious. I want people to see that and go, yeah, that's right. Let's go with that. I mean, that's the whole point.
That's right.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, John, I mean, just tears it up on that song. But yeah, that at some point I would love to get in and record some of these too. We talked about, we have so many different ways to do it. We're
yeah.
probably gonna try and do, well, they said the library, so maybe we'll try in the library. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard Studio 11 is open at the Bethlehem Public Library. All you gotta do
Yeah,
is
right.
sign up.
Also, if you
So-
noticed in that video, I had no amplification. I was doing that with no microphone, which would be nice to have right now. Money issues. Had a roommate move out, so I also used to have a PA head that I used for many bands, and that got, with being a drug house at one point here, that got lost in the shuffle. So yeah, I'm looking to try and save. If there's anybody who kindly wants to donate a PA for me, that'd be neat too. I'm just talking everything right here, right now.
Right. You're just like, I'm just saying, I need this, I need this,
Mhm,
I need
yeah,
this.
yeah,
So if
might as well.
anybody's out there, like,
I'll throw
send it
it
my
out
way. I ain't making any excuses. I just give it to me. All right, tell me about the song "Foot in My Mouth."
That song is probably, it's well, from one, no, it's not the oldest song we do that I've written. And I never used to like to bring old songs, but it's one that stuck around and it's evolved a lot, and I've never gotten tired of playing it yet. It constantly, it gets tighter and tighter, and tonight even we played it, and it's just it's a great song. I get moving in it, which I'm always moving around, like I've always done that. But I love it. I mean, it's a great song, and it's probably one of our best well received songs as well. It's fun all around.
Let me ask you about the lyrics.
Okay.
When you wrote it, you
Okay.
know, what were you kind of
Well, I mean,
looking to...
I have a tendency, like, now that I've been sober, I don't do it as much, especially now I've gotten older and tried to be a little bit wiser. I don't tend to say and do stupid things, but for a while there I was. So like the lyrics are some of these claims and mistakes were made by looking in other directions, led in the form of decay. So that was a big part of my life, was concentrating too much on one thing while I was letting another thing go to shit. And it constantly, it was done because of me not of putting my foot in my mouth and just fucking things up so much. And so that's a big part. So there's different turns of phrases, I think they are in as well. But I just really liked how I wrote it. I thought it really came across, and vocally it allows me to really push my vocals, which I love to do. I figure if I can, why not? So it really allows me to get to that point of hitting those perfectly. And also I think it has like a Stones feel to it, which I love songs like Dead Flowers, in that kind of vein. So it has that kind of gritty Stones feel to it, I think. I said it before to Wendy, I think it reminds me of Stones, but that always isn't a compliment, not digging it in any way. But I really like it. It's one of my favorite songs that I think I've ever written.
Wow, I'm gonna listen to this.
Yeah, I'm really upselling here. I hope it.
No, please, you need to, because you deserve it. Like, you kick ass.
No, I am the shit. I know. I was just being humble because I mean, humble sells too, right?
Well, you kick ass.
No,
I
I'm
don't
the
want to say
best.
you're the shit
I've
because like
always
shit
said it, and I
stinks,
don't mean
but
to sound- I
like
didn't mean to be
you
humble,
kick
but
ass.
I've seen people try to do what I do when singing. I've seen people try to do. There was one guy who tried to imitate me years ago, and by doing the gruff thing, and you can't imitate it because if you wind up sounding like, it just sounds terrible, like a lawnmower taking off or something.
It's like when you sat back and tried to imitate different artists on the radio.
Yeah, exactly. like none of my stuff is super hard to write or play, but singing.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, like I see people call themselves singers, but then it's like, are you really though? If you want to see, if you want to see somebody who can sing, come see me play, and then you can have an example to go off of textbook wise.
Yeah. Well, let's check out Foot in the
Okay.
Mouth. And crank it up, everyone.
You know what to do. Turn that dial all the way up. Yay!
Thank you.
Oh yeah. Don't put your foot in your mouth though. If we can help it.
Oh, well, we played it even better tonight. I mean, that was a good version. I mean, it was good. But like I said, that's and the songs live are a whole other thing too. I mean,
They
like
are.
the
Your
videos are one thing.
energy, the way that it
Yeah.
shines through when you perform. Yes.
Like I said, I'm not a religious person, but there's something about that connection that when you can have that with an artist and you're able to tap into that. And I don't really mean to sound too pretentious by saying that, but like it's the most spiritual I can get, because I think in this world it's so hard, and I myself even have a hard time with connecting with people sometimes. So it's a nice way to connect with people on a way that I can kind of connect with them. And like even have my mom and dad there, which they for a long time didn't come to a show, and they just started coming more recently, and it's nice to have them there, because I think they see a side of me that they haven't seen before, and that's important. I mean, like I get older and I don't have much time, with a lot of my, especially my parents. So I want to make sure that I can make them the most proud of of me that they can be, because I love my parents. I do. I love my parents to death. My dad's one of those people that everybody loves. He just had a huge birthday party, 70th birthday party, and then we all went around and we said how much we love my dad, and it was a nice moment. And my dad and I are so much alike in the way that we our brains process things. I think I'm the more efficient model, but I love my dad and I love my mom, and they've been so supportive. And I can't ask more out of them. They've always been there for me.
Happy belated birthday, Dad.
Yeah. He's just seems a
Sorry about
lot.
that.
He's a bigger guy, and he's just I love my parents. I love being closer to them now, because when I alienated myself because I was embarrassed about it, and I just wasn't in a good spot. I remember there was an Easter time one time where Wendy and I just started arguing, and then my sister got involved, and that was a whole thing. And it was just it was so bad. And it was all because I was either strung out, or I was on drugs, or it was a combination of the two, and it was bad. Like I so many of those moments, and I had a good poker face with it a lot. Because I was a functioning addict. I went to my jobs, and I didn't call out, at least not at first. But I always made sure I had a job because I had to keep going with it. But there was functions that I went to where I looked terrible, and I wasn't there. And even now, I think some people think that I'm gone from the drugs, and it's like I'm not. Like I still could have conversations. It's just that I was always so shy, and a lot of people don't ever know this side of me. So it's weird, I think, for a lot of people to know how to even interact with me. It's like almost like meeting a new person. But I'd rather
Isn't that
be
a
that way
beautiful,
than
a new beginning?
I'd rather be that way than the way I was before. I was shy, never saying anything, and always had my head down. So screw that. I've loved my 40s so far. I've loved them. I've had the friends I've made. How much my relationship with Wendy has strengthened to a point to where we just make it work so effortlessly now, to where we struggled every day with it. And to have that, and the relationship with my parents, and to be doing music, it's just like it's all nice, and it all helps my music too. Because when I can go up there, and I've played a lot of times in bad moods too, but when I know I'm up there and I'm playing for, it's why I like that one song I have for Wendy, because it's like it's the same as the story about the wedding ring. It's the same kind, but every time I play it, it's like a good version of that with Wendy, and she does recognize it because I look in her eyes and I see it. I can see when I'm playing it, and I sing these words that I'm singing to her, and she loves it, and I do because I know she loves it, and I love it too. It's one of those things that it's wonderful. That's why I like playing the song so much.
All right, Nick, I love the love. Give me some hard hands,
Yeah,
man.
right. I mean, seriously, there's so much hate, and there's so many people who have so much time for so much hate. And how can you have all that time for that hate? Every day it's a new outrage. Is this? Why do people just give a fucking rest? And just go outside or talk to an old friend or talk to an old family member. It's not healthy.
I think that COVID.
I say this on a podcast.
That's okay. I think COVID had a lot to do with things too.
That hyper accelerated.
Because you could see a neighbor outside, and if they cough once, you're like, oh, they've got the vid, dude. They've got the COVID. Like, watch out. Like, literally, you could see somebody that could have fell, but if they have a mask on, it was like, I dare?
Everything gets politicized. Every single thing gets politicized, and
but it also builds a lot of hate.
Yeah, and people,
when
I think
people start turning
against
each other off that virus, I think that caused a very big change in the human race.
I think that hyper accelerated because with the way the internet and people were heading that direction already. I think it just got more that way. But there's still plenty of people. I met you. You're a wonderful person. That's why I preach love, because all these issues that I have in my life, and they're all trivial. I worry all the time. Thanks, Dad. Get that from his genetics.
Happy belated birthday, Dad.
Yeah, happy belated birthday, Dad. But I worry about money and I worry about things, but nothing really is that bad. And
especially because now you're self-titled.
Yeah, but I'm blessed to have everything I have. and I have to. I don't want to ever, even if I do get more successful, I don't. I think going the route that I have, I appreciate every bit of it I have right now because I didn't have this before. I didn't even have the normalcy of having like a dog right here on my lap. I wouldn't have even been. I wasn't able to take care of myself, let alone a dog. And it seems like trivial because people have a lot of kids. But one mistake I always was good at, I never had kids, thank God. So this is a good test for me. This is like almost like having a kid.
Yeah, well, it is your kid. That's your baby.
Yeah, no, she absolutely is. She's my big fur baby.
This is Nick and Maggie, everyone.
Woo.
Share, subscribe, and turn it up. It's about to go live.
And that's how you scream. That's how you scream in rock and roll. I've never a huge fan of like death metal, but when it came to like Eric Burden from the Animals, I don't know if you know, he was one of the best screamers, and I fucking love his voice. That's who I always would try to aspire to with like the grittiness, because there's some people who scream, but you have to have that throatiness to it almost. That's why I smoke cigarettes.
I get
that's
it.
what
I
tell
get it.
myself because I don't want to quit for my singing. I remember doing open mics with people who were like, "Oh, I can't smoke a cigarette for the entire 2 days before I play an open mic." And they're telling me is that as I'm smoking a cigarette and I'm going up to play, I'm like, what are you talking about? Then you obviously can't sing if you can't do that. Amateurs. And now if you can play and sing and smoke a cigarette at the same time, I can do that.
Right. Oh gosh. You're awesome.
It's really a useless talent, but man, I mean, it impresses people, I guess.
Oh, oh, you're so awesome. Can you tell me about the song Dark in the Valley?
Yeah, Dark in the Valley, that's the song I wrote before I met Wendy, and her name is in the last verse of the song, and it always comes in the best part of the song. But the whole song is about her. So she's not named till then, but the whole song is about her. And we were a beautiful mess for a while because we always would enable each other. And we were very, very toxic. So we probably should have walked away, but we didn't. And now we're both clean and we're in love. I love her to death. She's my everything.
You guys are so beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah,
Wow.
it's a song about her, but it's a good song. It always, when it's a song like that, it makes me want to play it for her as well. So it's good. It's wholesome all around. It's like drinking a glass. It's like drinking a glass of milk. Very
Beautiful.
wholesome.
That's beautiful. Let me ask a question before we run into that song. Where do you hope to see yourself in 5 years, and who do you see yourself as far as like influencing?
Well, I mean, influencing mostly just to hope for anybody who's struggling with drugs. I hope to influence anybody who's struggling. I was a heavy drug user. I was very hopeless, very down. I saw all the commercials. I heard all the testimonies. I wanted to get clean, and when I did, is when I got clean. So you have to find a reason to want to get clean. And it could be a lot of different things, but you have to find a reason to want to get clean. And I did. And that was when everything really opened up for me. And it's been nice. And now I've been doing things, and I can have my wits with me because I'm clean, to where then I can put a lot of thought into it. And I want to at some point, I want to have a show with lights. I want to have something that's going to be an experience to see. You know, you're going to come in there, and I want it to have something that's going to have, you know, different lights, and you're going to feel like you're paying for a show that you're getting your money's worth. Not going to be anything stupid, but something just to get people out and in a community and experiencing something together. So that's where I hope to be. Hope to be doing something to where where the community is benefiting. I can hopefully make a living off of it, and I can have other people in my life that can be involved in it too. Like Wendy is somebody who I keep trying to get involved with it too. But that's where I hope to be. I anybody who is interested in anything in that realm, let me know. I want to go more. I want to get more of a stage thing in with me. I don't want to make it like a musical, but I want to get lights in there. I want to kind of build a mood. I think that'd be neat.
And if you're a drummer out there,
yeah, a drummer as well. Yeah. We've been looking for a drummer, so we're not just settling for nothing, even though that's what we are doing right now. But as you can see in the clips, we have our shit together, and so we're looking for somebody who wants to play and any other instruments too. I mean, saxophone player, mandolin. I'm looking to do something. If people want to be a part of what I'm doing, which I think we're all friends and we're all having fun doing it. And if we find people who are dedicated, I don't care if I have 100 people in my band. You know, I'll do an Edward Sharp situation, and I'll just have everybody in the band. I don't mind doing that. So anybody hit me up, find me. I know if you're dedicated and it sounds like something you want to do and you actually have talent, I'm not going to take someone playing the triangle or spoons unless they're very good at it. So anybody's interested, contact me. Let's make music and have fun.
Share the love.
Right?
Let's go ahead. Let's check this song out. Oh, I love this. Make sure that you go ahead. You check out the Elect Morals debate. You know what to do? Yes. Go ahead. You go out there. You can look on YouTube or search out the names at the Elect Morals debate. And to find Nick, you can go to the Eradicator 420. Make sure to check them out. Yeah. More great videos and things coming your way. Let's listen, like, share, and subscribe.
That wasn't a yawn, was it?
Nope. But we're gonna go dark in the valley. Are you ready? Let's share the love. Let's do it, Nick.
Go for it.
Here we are. Oh, where'd you go? Here it is. I got lost. Whoops. It actually came with one. This way. Let's share the love.
Errors. Technical errors.
This is my fiance. I keep calling her my
It
girlfriend.
happens.
She yells at me. This is my fiance.
Turn it up.
This song was not as good until her name became part of it. At least that's what I tell her to get brownie points. Hold on a second. My darling, I need you. I just can't seem to see myself. And honey, I love you, but I can't seem on center myself. And it's dark in the valley, and the words that are dancing on the tips of my tongue. And it's dark in the valley after all. Dad who came out to see me. Everybody have a good rest of your evening.
Oh, Bill.
Yeah, I love Bill. I mean, he's always, I said before, when I thought nobody was listening to anything that I was doing, Bill always told me to keep going with it, and I'm glad he did. Because like I said, I even with Wendy, there was a song I remember when we first met. I have this, I still have it. It's called a Q chord or Omni chord. It has a little strum plate on the side and the buttons you press. And I used to do music on that, and that's how, because it was easier for me to kind of, I guess, have the different instruments and stuff. And there was a song that I did. She came over and she saw me play it and she started crying. And it was neat because it was the opposite. Whereas my ex-wife, she'd give two shits. I would, you know, she thought it was cool, but she didn't get it. She didn't get stuff on that kind of level. So with her to get it, and now for her to be a part of this and to go out to shows and open mics, as much as it's for me, it's also for her. Because sometimes I don't feel like going out, and she's like, I know she'll push me to go out. So I'm glad, and but I've been going out more willingly lately because I've been having a good time. So I'm gonna keep trying to do that. Keep going with what works, right? That's how I'm trying to live my life now.
Absolutely. Well, we have one last song here that I'm going to play for the evening.
Okay.
And I have to know more information about it. Ain't No Heaven Where I'm From.
This song, when I would write, and I still do, sometimes I write where I sing songs without lyrics. I've always been good at improvising, and I can improv stuff, and sometimes the takes are good, and sometimes it's not so much for the lyrics. Like the Ain't No Heaven and the chorus, it's all pretty much similar across, but I never really had set lyrics to it. I kind of always improvise, and it changes a little bit here and there, but this has always been a song that's been a monster of a song, and it's more about feeling. And in fact, when I used to play it at a hookah bar, was when I really honed in on where I'm playing now, and I used to always do this foot stomp with it, and it would echo, and it was always a part of my playing, and it made people pay attention even if they weren't. And it was always a song that, for one, I always joke now when I play it, I say, because I give my all when we do these songs. Practice, I pace myself a little bit more. But I give my all, so I always say, like, I have to, you know, this is like a good last song because I scream a lot in this song, a lot. But it's a good song. It's a good.
So I picked the perfect last song.
Yo, absolutely, yeah.
It ends in my favorite numbers.
I used to constantly be in a place that was Ain't No Heaven Where I'm From. It was a land of, it was a place of hopelessness. But a lot of people are still there at times. But that's, you know, that it summed up a good, like I said, it wasn't so much the lyrics, but it was the feeling behind the song. Very cathartic for me to do, because I could scream my ass off. When I'm done, I'm shaking, but it's like I just been exercised. I feel good, you know, I feel trim, and I feel good. I scream my ass off, but I feel like I put on a good show. So this is one of those songs that I think at some point I'm gonna have to write lyrics, and I'm sure other musicians will be looking like, you don't write lyrics to it, but you know, fuck it, you know,
they'll come when they're ready.
Yeah, it's not traditional, right? Like we live in an age where it's all been done anyway. So it's my artistic formation of the song.
I love it. Well, let's go ahead. Let's check it out. Yes. We're listening to Nick Nagy. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let's check out now. Ain't No Heaven Where I'm From.
Before I go and pull my head away.
job, even you better like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, that's quite the song, right?
I love it. I love it. Love it.
Man, that song, when I'm screaming at sometimes, when I'm screaming at in the chorus, I get lightheaded sometimes after screaming at. It's tough. You can hear my voice sometimes. Like I'm like a little bit away from cracking, but I'm not because I'm a fucking pro.
I hear that.
You gotta be at this point, man. Like I don't got time for amateurs, right? So it's all about being a pro.
It is.
You're more that shit sparkling in your background. You know what
I really
about.
love the fact too that you realize that, you know, when you're in different places, you have to get their attention, even if they're not paying attention.
Exactly.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah, because sometimes, I mean, the coolest time to play for people is when they're there and they're just having a bite to eat and they're not expecting anything. And you catch someone who's like, wow, what the fuck is this? And I apologize for all the cursing, by the way. I curse like a sailor. But those are the coolest ones because they don't expect it. And that's, you can hook those people in, then the people who come to see it, they're always going to be into it. But they also drive it too. But yeah, I mean, people like it and people love it. And that's the coolest part about it. You know, I want to keep doing it. If it was hard for me to do, which it used to be hard for me to do, but a lot of that was, once again, all the problems I had that I was dealing with internally and externally. But now that I'm on, I feel like I wouldn't say righteous. I don't know if I don't even use that word, but I guess I'm
bodacious.
But now that I've been on the straight and narrow, and I've been doing things, and I feel like I've been putting work in, and I've been trying to be the best person I can be, I guess, because I feel like I was always this person, and I just for a long time I wasn't, and now I'm finally that person that I always thought that I was. And that's not just a trans thing. That's like a person thing. Because
it's an evolution thing.
I didn't have kids. So my thing is I had time to deal with my shit. And I had time to learn from it and evolve from it and get better from it. And that's where I feel like I'm at the point now is I try to better myself. I tried to, the things I was ignorant of, I tried to get better, equipped with and learn about. And I try to be a more positive person, which I think is it does bleed into everybody else. And so I do that now because it helps people and it helps me and it's good all around. It's same as playing in a way, it's just doing it on a way where I'm not singing about it. I'm actually talking with people because it's good to talk with people. It is. It's the best. I always feel better whenever I can, different periods of my life where I was going through something rough and just being in some place or talking about it, not talking about it, but just talking, and it just makes you feel better. Even if you're not in a bad situation, if you're just having like a bland night. So that's kind of what I want to take that version of that and do that playing as well. And I think I'm kind of capturing that. I think like I said, I'm actually able to form my vision. Normally this shit was all outside of my like reach. And now I have these different people and they're all phenomenal. Like you can hear John. He's a beast on guitar, and Ben is great on bass too. So everybody in my band, and Liam wasn't in, I think, in any of those clips, but he's phenomenal too. So we're having a blast, and we all enjoy each other's company, which is cool, and it's been a lot of fun. I mean, like we hung out a couple nights ago and we jammed and we had a really good time, and I think everybody kind of needed that.
It's amazing to have a bond like that.
Yeah, it does, and
I've connect on another level.
Well, and I think that's what's going to make it hard for a drummer to step in is that we have that bond right now. I mean, I'm gonna find somebody.
Look, if it's meant to be, and it
exactly
seems like everything is falling into place.
Exactly, all these pieces already came into the picture, so I have to believe that it's going to happen. It's going to come along. Right, positive, because before, here's the way I looked at it. I did a lot of beating myself up in the past. I did a lot of wondering why why are these things happening to me? A lot of whining, when I got to the point where I realized that stuff's exhausting, and all it did was work me up. It got me in a bad mood, and I still have struggle with it. But when I got to that point, I realized that things got a lot easier for me, and I was able to open up more, and I was able to be more of a positive person instead of always so negative, because I'm still cynical, but I was really cynical before. So it's nice that I can be more open. And like I said, beyond everything else, if someone can see this and they can see how well, and it's not just an act. I am very dramatic, but I am doing very well. I mean, people, you can see it and you can hear it when I talk, and you can see it when I play. So, you know, anybody who's still kind of worried that I might ever relapse, I'm doing good right now. I'm in a happy place.
That's amazing.
I'm
That
talking
is
to
absolutely beautiful.
I'm talking to a new
everything.
friend. I'm talking to a new friend that, you know, that is nice to have. So I hope she thinks that I'm a friend too.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely. And I hope in the future we can do some collaborations together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Too.
Yeah, that'd be neat.
So
I've always wanted to write. I don't know why I to write with other people. I've never really really done it much. It's not like I'm like a really picky writer. I just haven't really got to it.
Right. We'll talk about that more in a few
Okay,
minutes.
cool. Yeah.
This has been such an awesome interview.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I thank you so much, and we're gonna have to do an update too.
Yeah,
in the
absolutely, yeah.
future.
Hopefully it's not a bad
you.
update. So like hopefully it's not like taking place and I'm like a manhole cover with like garbage on my head and I got meat in the garbage. Something
Well,
like
you
that.
know, Oscar, like he was a pretty cool cat.
Yeah, you know, like I've been low before, so I mean, knock on wood. I always say I can't get any lower, but right now I'm at a pretty high level. I'm feeling good, and I love everybody. Anybody who loves my music, anybody who gets enjoyment out of it, I love you. And I preach love and I push love, and I'm all about love. So love at the end of the day, it fuels everything. It fuels the love we have with our parents, with our partners. It's everything. You know, everything else is shit, but you know, the world can be crazy, but you know, worry about the love with the people in your life that you love and they love you, which is Wendy. Wendy, I love you. My parents, I love you. I love all my family. I love my sister. I love my nieces, Madison and Bailey. I love Bill Madej too, by the way. I do. I love Bill.
I love Bill.
I can't give Bill enough love.
Yes.
Everybody who knows Bill loves Bill. He can be cranky at times, but it makes us love Bill even more.
That's right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna close up this interview, and we're gonna go ahead and
Bye-bye,
check
everybody.
back with Nick in a little bit, so that way we can get an update. This has been an exclusive interview. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe.
Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you.
This is Nick Nagy. Yes. Make sure to check out the band, the Elect Morals Debate. You know what to do. Share the love. Yay.
I'm gonna spread love or hate. I'm gonna spread love.